People have come into our house and they've interrupted our worship. This is a house of peace, and we try to proclaim that. And this stirs division and rancor. And in the end, it's not helpful. Ultimately, I believe they've lost. They've emptied a house of worship. Everybody's gone home. Their point has been proven worthless. And so, in the end, I think they lose. But more importantly, if I was to break into any of their houses uninvited, cause derision and upset according to their values, I would be kicked out ultimately. It's not a good way. I feel violated. I feel interrupted. I feel angry.
May I ask you something? When you were saying if you had showed up at their house, they're saying that people are showing up at houses where they're citizens without due process and breaking and entering the house. One that we saw, I've been watching from New York, with a battering ram into someone's private property, and there's no recourse. There's no, you understand what I'm saying?
This is all part of a much larger dialogue, in my opinion. On one side are people who watched a previous administration bring 12 million people in over the course of 4 years, and many of them undocumented, many of them criminals, etc. This is another administration's corrective. Now, whether you agree with the policies or procedures, I think I could actually be sympathetic to some of the things where there have been challenges to actually.
It's spotty for a reason right here. It's glitching. But y'all not hearing what he's saying? He's literally saying he can see both sides. You would think that somebody is that, and I love people like this man that's saying this. Obviously not Don, but I love this guy that's saying this because he's simply saying, hey, I can see both sides. I can be sympathetic to what's going on. However, I can see the good that's coming out of this as well. Because if they truly are, getting up all these people that are illegal and criminals and all this stuff, then that's great. But I also understand the bad that has come with this too, that has came with, these operations going on. So I can see that as well. But like he said, this is a much larger dialogue type of conversation that needs to happen. It's not really black and white. But y'all about to see Don disagree and pretty much say, no, it is black and white, which then turns to him reporting, to him pushing his opinion onto this man.
And decent. At the same time, these are what are called targeted interventions by ICE to keep the American people safe.
If I respectfully may interject here, I've been out reporting on a lot of these, and they're not targeted. There are no warrants signed by a judge, let me finish. And they're American citizens, many of them. Most of the people that they detain don't have criminal convictions or criminal records.
I'm not going to get into the weeds.
You should know that, though. Don't you think that's part of it?
Yes, and I could also show you many opposing sides where we're also picking up the very criminals that have put Americans in danger. And
now watch Don. Don is not going to acknowledge that. So this man said, I can see the bad of what's happened. Now, I don't think that most people that are detained are the wrong people. Let's just say that for lack of better words. I don't think that's a fact. That is an opinion Don is forcing out there. But he's even acknowledging, saying, okay, I can see that, but I also can see the correct people, the illegals, the criminals. I can see those people being picked up as well. So I can see both. Again, him saying I can see both sides.
I'm not saying it's pretty. I'm not saying it's not messy. I'm not saying it couldn't be better. I'm saying this is a part of a much larger dialogue in which one administration caused a great deal of chaos and havoc and danger for American citizens, and another is trying to correct that.
Do you believe that? Why honestly, let me talk to you.
That's where he went wrong. That's where he went wrong. He is giving you his opinion on how he feels about the situation going on. You're just a reporter, Don. Just shut up and listen. Just shut up and listen. He's giving you opinion on how he feels about the situation. He's even saying and admitting, yeah, it can be better. I'm not saying that it's perfect, But I can see, hey, they're getting the bad people, so that's great. But I also can acknowledge that some bad things have happened in the process. So that's terrible. And Don gonna sit here and ask him, do you actually believe that? That's not reporting. And it's sickening seeing how many people defend this Don Lemon's, actions, saying he was just doing his job. That's just an independent journalist. He's giving independent journalism a bad rep. This is terrible. This is not reporting. He's not reporting anything. He's forcing his opinion onto people. He's a left-wing journalist. So anything that is left-wing, that's what he's pushing. This man hasn't even really said, hey, I'm Republican. He's just saying, hey, I can see both sides, because ICE is doing whatever they can to protect the American citizens. Don Lemon will never acknowledge that. He will never acknowledge the intention of ICE. He's just going to talk about the left-wing talking points. They're rounding up 5-year-olds. Don't you see? They're getting way more legal people than the bad people. When it's like, it's disgusting.
I'm not a journalist.
Just saying, I want to give you the facts.
No.
Did you know that undocumented people?
I want to get to the part. I want to play it back to where he says, you're not a real journalist.
Deal of chaos and havoc and danger for American citizens, and another is trying to correct that.
Do you believe that? Why? Honestly,
Okay.
let me talk to you just on the
You're not
facts.
a journalist.
Just saying, I want to give you the facts.
No.
Did you know that undocumented people and
We're
immigrants
done. We're
commit
done.
far less crime
We're done.
than American citizens?
We're done here. We're done here.
Than natural-born Americans? You won't listen.
If you could ask,
I'm giving you the facts. It is.
Give me facts. I would have a conversation.
But I can respond to you.
No, we're done.
Did Jesus stand with the oppressed?
Because he doesn't want to listen to facts.
That's it.
What he's saying is not facts. What Don is saying is not facts. Just like bro said, it's a much larger dialogue. It's not black and white. Don is like, yes, it is. He's like, I thought you were reporting. I'm telling you how I feel. Even if you think it's black and white, you're a reporter asking me questions. And even bro says, you're not a real journalist. I know that hurt Don's ego. I know that hit deep.
That's the interesting thing about this, is that they won't listen to facts.
No.
You won't, because
when you pose as a journalist,
I am a
and you
journalist.
ask me
Journalist
questions,
give
and
facts.
then you start correcting me with facts and don't have.
You shouldn't hear the facts.
Of course, I should
most
hear
of the people
facts.
who are picked up
But
are
will you
not.
give me the
have
facts
no-
on both sides? No.
That is the facts on both sides.
I mean, is he lying? Is he lying? He said, cool. If you have facts for your take, for your opinion, give me the facts on both sides. And the facts on both sides is that ICE has got or deported a lot of illegal criminals. A lot. So acknowledge that. Versus sitting here just trying to force down everybody's throat, forcing your opinion, talking about, oh, all they're doing is what you call it? All they're doing is locking up legal citizens, people who are legal and have their papers. That's all he's talking about. That's all Don is trying to push. He will never, ever acknowledge the true intention of ICE and how good it has been at times. Not at all times, but at times. That's not what he's out there for. He's out there to push left-wing propaganda, and it's obvious. And bro sees right through it.
Most of the people who are picked up and are detained are not convicted. They have no criminal convictions. They have no criminal records. None. That immigrants commit far less crime than native-born Americans. So they won't listen to the facts. Anyways, these folks are still out here.
And then they love to finish with that. Immigrants commit far less crime than Americans. Duh. They are the smallest percentage. The problem is the percentage should be zero if you're an illegal citizen, or my fault, illegal immigrant. That percentage should be zero, Don. That's the problem. But they use that talking point, and it's only from the Democrats and the left wing. They use that talking point of illegals commit the smallest percentage of crime. It should be zero, because we have a lot of problems to fix in our own house. Why are you coming up with why is there a new percentage added to the equation when we haven't even decreased the actual main problems? So just because we have high percentages in black crime and white crime, this percentage of crime don't matter? You're like, it just doesn't matter because, oh, they're illegal and it's a small percentage. It doesn't matter. We adjust and adapt to how this world moves. So in my life personally, I have adjusted to doing my best to prevent myself from being in a situation where I can be a victim of black crime. I do what I can to prevent myself being a victim of white crime or, a white suspect. I do my best because I am accustomed to what's going on in America and what my surroundings look like. Adding a new percentage to the equation creates a lot of problems because now this is new. I don't care if it's 5%. I don't care if it's 1%. It should be 0. When Laken Riley and all of these people that were murdered by illegal immigrants, you didn't take that into account that it could be an illegal immigrant, could you? She was just going for a jog in the park. Could it have been somebody else? Absolutely. But the problem is that they never fail to realize is that when an illegal immigrant commits a crime, how are you going to trace that person? They're undocumented, remember? So the fingerprints that are on Laken Riley, I can't remember if they found a person or whatever, but I'm saying in general, the fingerprints that are on the crime that an illegal immigrant has committed are untraceable. They're undocumented. Their fingerprints aren't in the system. It don't matter how many street cameras you get. Nobody knows who they are. They're illegal. Do you not see how dangerous that could be? And their talking point would be like, well, it's still only 1 to 5% of it happening. It should be 0. Nobody should commit a crime and they're untraceable. That is terrifying. If somebody does something to me today that's an American citizen, they'll be found by the night. And it's unfortunate if something were to happen to me, but at least they would be found by tonight. Unless they were able to get away with some type of crazy situation. But to defend this talking point of illegal immigrants commit far less crime than American citizens is so baseless. It's disgusting. Don Lemon is not a real reporter. He's not a real independent journalist. He is a left-wing propaganda. I don't even know how to finish that one. He pushes left-wing propaganda. That's what he is. He doesn't just report. He's not an independent journalist. And if anybody is defending this being independent journalism, that's terrible. He's giving it a bad rep. I hope other independent journalists don't do this. I've seen some great independent journalism. Nick Shirley did a phenomenal job of independent journalism when he went to Minnesota and discovered the fraud. When he was asked to leave, he left. When people ask questions, he just asked questions. When people allow him to ask questions, he just did. He didn't force anything onto people. But I don't know, man. It's crazy. It's just disgusting, bro. Don Lemon will probably get charged. My fault, not charged. He would probably be found guilty. He already was charged. He would probably be found guilty. And if so, I hope he faces prison time because this is disgusting. But make sure you like the video. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. I will see y'all on the next one.